So, welcome to the No Stand Zone podcast. It's a pleasure to have every one of you here. My name is TA Ekabo Surieto, meaning welcome to the show. I mean, if everyone is speaking local dialect, local Nigerian dialect, now I could as well just infuse it in the show, right? So, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I saw a video this week. It might be old, an older video, but I don't know. I just saw the video sometime during the week. I saw a video of Lizzo speaking Yoruba, speaking Igbo. Now, Igbo is one of the three major languages spoken in Nigeria. Now, it wasn't just because she was speaking the local, language from Nigeria. I mean, we've seen so many celebrities try, do, and some even be really terrible at it. But it was how well she was able to pull it off. That was this amazing part. Now, I've been surrounded by family members. I grew up with Igbo people around me, and for the craziest reasons, I just could not learn the language, right? I mean, I could say one or two words here and there, but to speak the language with the intonations and the way it's supposed to sound, I was shocked. I had to play the video I sent the video to someone who I know could speak Igbo, like an Igbo person. I was like, wait, how well did she do here? And the person was like, wait, this is a solid 7, 8 over 10 for someone who isn't a native and someone who doesn't speak the language fluently. This is pretty good job. It's I don't know. Some people are pretty good with languages, is what I will say. I was surrounded by Igbo people growing up, and I just could not pick up on the language. Even my own local dialect, as I speak Yoruba. I'm sure a couple of you have been able to pick from my accent here and there, put in the H where it shouldn't be, and taking it out from where it should actually be. Speaking, some consonants a lot heavier than others. So if you've been around a lot of Nigerians enough, you would catch that straight off from my accent. I said, I notice it happen every week. I don't even care at this point. As long as you can understand me, not a major thing with that. That's the most important thing, as long as you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So shout out to Lizzo and how well she was able to pull that off. I'm not the one that gets impressed very easily by all this. I found out that my ancestry is from Ghana, whatever, and then you wear Kente cloth, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but you wear the local cloth, or you try to speak a language or you try to tell me that you've been around Nigerians by speaking pidgin. We've seen a lot of that in recent years that I'm not impressed by any of all those gimmicks and shenanigans. If you I get what the whole point of it is, right? But this really kind of caught me off guard because just how good it sounded. I know when someone who is speaking good Igbo, with everything should sound, right? Even if you grew up in the country, you would, even if you don't know how to speak Yoruba or Hausa, which is the three major languages, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. Even if you don't speak any of the other two and you speak one, or you've been around Nigerians a lot, or people from those parts of the country, you would just know when someone can speak the language really good, even if you can't, right? So shout out to Lizzo. That was really, really good. Really caught me off guard. So I for one, I'm still trying to learn the best, trying to learn Yoruba, learn to speak it fluently without mixing it with English. So that was just really impressive for someone who is not really impressed that much all the time by things like that. So once again, thank you for making out the time to be here. If you're not following us on any of the socials, please do. We're on YouTube. Please subscribe and like the videos. Help us get spread across to more people, to other parts of the world. I post short clips of some of the videos that some of the podcast episodes that we've done already. I usually post some of them on social media. So please just and if you miss any of the shows, or if you're trying to invite someone to kind of get a hang of what we're doing here, that's a good way to kind of guide them into and let them understand what we do here. So please do follow me on Twitter, is at TA Sound. That's TIAE Sound, TIAE Sound on Twitter. And also No Stand Pod, at No Stand Pod on Twitter, formerly known because someone had to correct me this week. I think I will still call it Twitter from now till forever, but formerly known as Twitter X, right? Known as now. Please follow us on all those platforms as well. My DMs are open for any questions, inquiries, and all of that fun stuff. And before we dive into like the major part of the show, something happened this past week that really, really caught me off guard. Shout out to Midi Kwakwa, right? So I was on Instagram this week and I was just scrolling through, and I usually see Midi's tweet. You guys are not spoken about her here like a few weeks ago. The lady in, I think she's in the Netherlands, of Ghanaian descent, that is doing incredible music right now, like soul, pop, kind of R&B, all of that fun stuff. You guys go check out my review of her music, by the way. It's from a few weeks ago. If you scroll, you don't have to scroll too far on the podcast feed, and you will see it there. And one of the post, how Instagram is, where you can post multiple pictures in one post, right? So that was kind of like it is. And I could have just scrolled and probably never seen that, but I was just scrolling through that one post to see all of the other pictures and videos, and voila, see what happens. She had seen one of the episode of one of the episodes, like the episode where I talked about her release her music. And I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It was so good to see. And there was no way I could have seen that. And it was possible I just scrolled through her page or a picture, and I would never know that she posted that. Like, I didn't know, right? And I just stumbled into it, and it was just so good to see. And shout out to Media. I put out a message there for her that, I'm actually the host of the podcast, because she didn't tag me. She didn't. Well, we don't have an Instagram page yet, and so, but it was so good to get acknowledged. Knowing that an upcoming artist, someone who's as good as that, is able to catch what we're talking about on the pod here. And I sent her a message in the comments saying, you know what, I'm rooting for you. By the way, I'm the one who hosts the podcast, so she was so excited, and she really was grateful for saying, like, rooting for her and all of that. So shout out to Midi. I'm rooting for you. Cannot wait for new music and to see all the good things you achieve. She makes exceptionally good music, incredible music that I just love. It makes me relax, makes me just get in a different space from the fast-paced environment that I'm in throughout the whole day, or I've been running errands and all of that. Her music just helps calm me down, and it's different from everything out there right now. There are not too many who are able to even do it. Not just because there aren't so many. The ones that are putting out the style of music are able to meet this exceptional level, and just that bar that is very high, meet that high bar, are very few, and she is one of them. So shout out to my girl, Midi Kwakwa. And talking about new artists. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast long enough, I've spoken about Morave several times. At least, I mean, I've put out tweets, I've spoken about her and my frustrations with the label, and she's on the Davido's record label, and how they're not doing enough. Like, you just released an art, like, she literally has, I think, one EP, which was fantastic. I remember when it was released, I was on a space kind of rooting for her. Like, folks haven't even listened to the music, and they were just trashing her and trashing the music and all of that. And I was like, wait, have you guys even listened to the music at all before you come out here and just trash this lady? It was like Wizkid fans coming to talk about talking about her music because she's signed to Davido's record label. Like, it was just a lot of just hate and vitriol that I wasn't expecting. Right. And I remember I was on that space just, venting, like, wait, listen to the music. What does her being signed to Davido's record label have to do with her music and how fantastic it is? And let me tell you, she is one of the very few new artists that I've heard in the past 2 years. I think is when she released that EP. Right. Yeah, it must have been 2 years now. One of the very few artists that have come out of the gate sounding like really good. On that EP, she didn't sound like someone who was just coming in for the first time. Like, it is just so sad, so heartbreaking that a talented artist like that is recognized, which is good, like found and discovered, and then just let it go like that. Not build on anything that has been done. Like, we're not even talking about, oh, she's released like maybe a couple of singles after, or like she's planning a full album. Like, nothing in the past year. And I remember I spent like a good portion of last year, like every like 3-4 months, I was putting out a tweet saying, what is happening with Morave? I mean, she should be planning for an album now. And I don't know the lady from Adam. Like, it is just crazy. And this past week, I actually saw a tweet by Davido that just, I mean, I just felt like it pissed me off so much. And not because of the tweet itself. It was now Davido put out this tweet saying a big welcome to a new artist. And this just hit a nerve. And I was like, wait, hold on. We're talking about a new artist. What's up with Morave? And this was I actually quoted the tweet saying, like, Oga, where is Morave? So it's over like that. One EP and done? Like, let me say this. Davido should not be, I mean, if it's possible, he shouldn't be allowed to sign any other artist again. If you're going to do this to them, let them, like, I don't know, just don't sign anybody. You pick them up like there's so much potential, and shout out to you for that. I mean, it's not easy to find different really talented artists nowadays and actually put them out. But if you're going to do it, then do it well. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. I mean, that is the whole essence of what is pissing me off about this. If you're not going to do this job well, then why do you keep signing artists? Right? Why do you keep doing a half-assed job? Right? If you're going to sign this artist, then go all the way. And employ people who are actually going to do the job, breaking this artist, getting them out. That EP should have been promoted at least for 6 months, a year. I thought it was that good. And I remember at the time, and I think I've mentioned in other episodes as well, that she is such a talented artist. No one sounds as confident. Her voice sounds very full, very rich. Like, on the branding side, with a new artist, you have a plain slate. You can do whatever you want with that. If you put together a group of talented people, you would achieve what you want. As regards her brand, that has nothing to do with her per se. You're the one who signed her. It's not like she's an independent artist at this point in her life. And we haven't even heard anything from her since then. And I mean, that's because it's tough. Even for, artists that are not signed on the labels, it's tough. It's tough to get out there to even, to get some sort of attention in the midst of all this noise out there, especially when it comes to Nigerian music. It's crazy. There are not so many artists, but then it is so hard to get noticed, to get that recognition. And I mean, having Davido on a track, or having Davido on at the back of like at the back of your record, like saying produced by Davido, that gets you a lot of attention. Then my goal is, if you're gonna get her that attention, go all the way with her. You found one. These kind of artists they're not easy to find. They're not. How many artists in the past year have been really, really impressive after one record, or after one album, or after one EP? It's hard to get that one that can go all the way, and Morave can. I don't think I have come out rooting for an artist like I've done for Morave in the past year. Maybe the only person that outside of her is King Madi, right? And I mean, it's evident to see how incredible she is. I will talk about her in a little bit. She is featured on a new song that came out this past week. We'll talk about her in a little bit. But I mean, she is just as talented. Her voice, like she's actually singing about something, which is hard to even find from established artists today. Like, they have something to sing about. She actually has something to sing about. I don't know if she's writing the songs herself, or at least from the songs on the EP, if she wrote them herself, or she had help with that, which I really don't give a damn. It's the music industry. It's all about collaboration. Either way, she's able to pull it off well. Like Chris Brown was saying, well, you can write a song for me, but nobody can sing it like I can. Nobody can perform it. Nobody can deliver like I can. right? So I see her the same way. You can write a song for her. She has a unique way of delivering. She doesn't sound shy. She sounds very confident. Her voice is very rich, very solid. There isn't any timid, any. I'm not getting any timid vibes from her. It's like she's made for the spotlight. And then you sign such an artist, and you cannot see that. I don't know. I'm. This gets me so mad because I know how hard it is for this artist, right? I understand that part, and I think he should as well. So I'm like, you are on the biggest, one of the biggest artists in the world, right? You should be able to recognize talent. You did. How do you let it go? How do you not do anything about it with all the knowledge and how long you've been in this industry? I was just so pissed about this. I'm like, well, you're signing another artist. What about the one you signed last? Nothing from there? No updates? It is so sad. I mean, it is so sad. Shout out to Morave, man. I'm rooting for you. Every now and then I'm listening to that album. Every time I do, it just breaks my heart. I'm like, so much potential here. So much potential here. If you're going to do it, I mean, do a pretty good job. Go all the way. That's all I'm saying. Go all the way. Until then, I mean, can we not sign anybody else? Because it's just about, you feel like your name is good enough just once you put out the tweet. No. I mean, how do you even go around thinking like that with someone as experienced as you are in the music industry? How do you go about thinking just putting out a tweet about an artist and putting your name behind their record or their project is enough? How do you go around thinking that is enough? I mean, and then things like this makes, or situations like this make Olamide look like a genius. Don Jazzy look like a genius. Because it is not easy to break other artists out, like discover talented artists and actually put them out and they become successful to a point where they could almost be independent of themselves. Like Adekunle Gold was part of that. He's on his own now. I mean, there's Fireboy also with YBNL, right? The Ashake, formerly with YBNL, now on his own. Like having this amount of success, it's not easy to do. Like you break this artist out, and if Fireboy today wants to go on his own, he can. He can. So I mean, it's what are we even talking about here? Like, I mean, Davido, I'm so disappointed. This tweet triggered me. I was just pissed the whole day after I saw that tweet. I was like, man, what's happening with Morave? What is happening with these talented artists? Right? So, I mean, shout out to Morave. Hopefully they're able to get that sorted out. I honestly don't know how at this point if Davido hasn't if it hasn't clicked to him yet that this is a problem. I don't know. I don't know what to do from here, honestly. So let's go to new music, new stuff that I came out this week that has me excited. Benson has a new song out. I have been one of those people who's like, wait, where is this dude? It's just been at the part of my. I haven't even put out the tweet. It's been on my mind for a few weeks now. With so many artists releasing music, it's just been on my mind. Like, wait, we haven't really heard a lot from him in a minute. So, I was just like, wait. Hopefully, when are we gonna get something from me? It's just been on my mind. I probably should have put it in a tweet, put it out there. I would have looked like a genius right now. But Benson has a song out right now titled "Cutesy." I love this track. It's easy for him to have the right words to say. I almost want to call him a lyricist. Well, he's an incredible songwriter. It's probably the word I should be calling him. And it's just easy for him. It's almost not fair for Benson to have to be involved in music. It's almost not fair. The song title "Cutesy," beautiful track, saying all the right things. It's always telling a story, has you kind of enveloped in the song with him, right? So shout out to him. I honestly, beautiful track. There isn't so much to say, and that track is about over 3 minutes. I mean, when I saw that, and you guys would know that is a really interesting thing today. Most songs don't cross 2 minutes 45 seconds max. If your song is getting to 3 minutes, it's like the no-go area if you wanted their attention, with very short attention span out there today. So when I saw 3 minutes, I was like, ooh, he's got so much to say on this track. Beautiful song here by Benson. It's almost not fair. My only always like criticism of him is I just wish he, and I know it's this part, it's the way he's been doing it, his style. He always thinks like he's not fully opening his mouth. It's like open your teeth, open your mouth and say. That's my only criticism of him. It always looks like he's not fully exploring what he could deliver, like how he could deliver on the track. He's not fully taking all of the advantage. And I'm not saying he should scream into the mic or scream into the record, but I mean there is a middle ground to that, and there's a way you can actually open your mouth and sing and still deliver in that same manner you want the delivery to be, right? In the same soulful kind of, not soulful but calm, soft kind of delivery you want. There is a middle ground to these things, right? So that's kind of like my only would be my only criticism of him. I honestly cannot wait. Another part of his music that I think he hasn't really explored, and this will always be for me the asterisk to how great of a songwriter he is. The fact that he's not been able to take that gift and write music for others. I mean, if you're not able to do that, you being a songwriter, there's an asterisk, a big asterisk to your name, right? If you're not able to translate that, all the best songwriters have been able to write for other people. Like, it's just the way it is. If you're a great songwriter, at some point, someone is reaching out to you to say, hey, let's work together, or you are actually writing for other artists, like collaborate. Like, there has to be some sort of collaboration there where you're working for other artists somehow, right? So that would kind of be my only two criticisms of Benson. Outside of that, he would not even he is right now top three best songwriters that this industry, the Nigerian music industry, has ever produced or has ever put out there. He is that good. He's solidified himself in history right there. So I mean, it's almost not fair anytime he releases this tone, and it's like that mid-tempo, it's like he's not gonna miss. The moment you want him to do anything more fast-paced, anybody can miss there. But it's mid-tempo, that is where he thrives, and he did all of that on this song titled Cutesy. Another song out right now. See, my girl. Tyla has a song out right now titled Bliss. See, I almost don't. I mean, even as at this week or this maybe 2 weeks ago, or the past 2 weeks, a lot has always been said about this my girl. And for me, every time I hit play on her music, I almost all of that almost doesn't matter at this point. And some of them, maybe rightfully so, she can come off a certain way. And the thing is, you know what? I'm not in the same room with her. I'm not in the same space. She's not talking to me. I'm not talking to her. I don't have to worry about all of that. The people who talk to her, who are in conversations with her, or who have to be in conversations with her, or who have to deal with her, I mean, that's up to them. I'm glad that I don't have to deal with that. I don't have to really know her as a person, as long as she's not causing harm, physical harm, emotional harm to anybody, any of all those things. I'm good. You see the music, 10 over 10 every time. This is what consistency looks like. You know what you're gonna get. She's still working with the Afrobeat sound. I love this. How is it that you cannot just stay? Must there be every scenario? Must you be always trying to redefine something, right? You're an Afrobeat artist. You're an Afropop artist, right? Give me that. Give me that. You're an artist that works with Nigerian pop music sound. Give me that every time. And even with that album, right, that incredible project, by the way, one of the best albums out of in the past 3-4 years, right, out of the African continent, like pop albums out of the continent. It's just incredible work right there. I've always been thinking like, what is she gonna do next? And the deluxe of that album kind of be like, oh, was she gonna go switch to the South African that sound, the Amapiano, right? But she just fed into all of the things going on about her. It was such a remarkable deluxe, by the way, of the self-titled album, Tyler. And I've always wondered, what is she gonna do next? Outside of all the success of that album, what's she gonna do next? Is she gonna want to branch into something else? Like, what is happening? What can we expect? And I have not been disappointed. She came out with a song it must have been a few weeks ago. Let me get that track. I have to get that track real quick. Please hold on, because it's this track. It didn't really get a lot of attention when it's more like a R&B style R&B style kind of music song. Let me go back and try and get this, because I don't know why I cannot for the life of me find the song that I'm looking for right now. She just released it recently. It was at the beginning of the year. Oh my gosh, Tears. Oh my gosh, this is it. My gosh, I can't believe. Oh, it was from last year. It was like ending. Was it Tears? No. From beginning of last year. Oh my gosh, I just cannot remember. I don't know. This is weird. But she had a song. It must have been Tears. I think it was in that album. But I heard that single. I was like, okay, this is incredible, right? And this single, Bliss, ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm sold on what Tyla is selling. I'm sold on what Tyla is selling. She knows how to put out a hit. She knows how to put out a beautiful song, not just a hit that hits all marks, all the green marks, and say, oh, this is what you need to hit on a track for it to become a hit. She knows how to write as well. Like she's giving me everything. Tyla, right now, for me, she is number one artist on this continent, on the African continent, for me right now. For me, no one comes close. I don't know. The talent is real. The performance is real. The excellence every single time is real, is right there. And for me, whatever attitude people are complaining about, I don't have to deal with it. The only thing I have to deal with is the music, and I will take that any time of day. Tyla, I'm in love with your music. You're making exceptionally great music for us right now. You're making this the continent proud with all the good stuff she's putting out there, not trying to conform to anything. She wants to work with the Afro pop sound. Please go ahead. It is free for everybody. The sound is as African as you are. Go ahead and thrive on this sound, right? If you people are okay with an American picking up the sound, or an Australian or European picking up the sound, and then we want to complain about Tyla, fuck every one of you doing that, and then copying every one of this American blogs and repeating everything they're saying and all the negative stuff they're saying about her. Screw all of you doing all of that. All this internet people spreading all that. I don't care. I honestly don't. She's African. I will stand with her for her 1,000,000 times before I stand against her one time. And she hasn't done anything to deserve any of the vitriol that is coming towards her on the internet. So please thrive, Tyla. I am behind you 100%. You as African as it comes. It's in you. Like, we don't even have to debate here. The way she works well with the sound, I'm like, well, she could have been Nigerian, and I'll be like, easily could have been Nigerian at this point, because she just thrives on this Afro pop beat comfortably. So shout out to my girl Tyla. I love this track, by the way. I will be hitting this several times over and over and over again. She's having an incredible run. One of the most incredible runs by an African artist ever. I mean, Ashake has had such a run. Burna Boy has had such a run, like, of incredible projects being put out. I'm not just talking about you being popular or famous. saying the quality of projects is what I'm talking about here. And back-to-back quality of projects. Oh man, she is in a very, very small handful of list of people who have been able to do that. And she's on the roll right now. Bliss, I know they're probably working on an album that should come out later on in the year. I cannot wait. Beautiful work by this lady. So shout out to you, Tyla, man. Wherever you are right now, I hope you're thriving. I hope you're resting. Well, I hope you're taking in only positive affirmations at this time. I hope that is all that is happening. I hope you're surrounding yourself with people that love you, people that care for you, people that want you to succeed, people that want you to thrive as well. I hope you're taking care of your mental health. I hope you're taking care of your skin as well. I hope you're far away from stress. We don't want any of that for you. We want you looking good. Every time you step on the red carpet, we want you giving your very best. Rest enough to have enough energy to kill it. Every time you come on that stage and put every one of this ingrates to shame. Everyone who questions your blackness, everyone who questions your talent, everyone who questions your dedication to this craft, put every single one of them to shame as you thrive, as you succeed, as you excel. Like I've said before, I will stand with this lady 100 million times. I will stand beside her before I stand against her half a time or one a time. Once, whatever that means. So, I mean, shout out to you, Tyla, man. Good. I wish you all the very best on this single. Only positive energy coming her way, man. I could go on and on just speaking only positive stuff to her life right now. I think why would I say she needs it? But I want the voices that are with her to be a lot louder, because there are very few, although very loud and have lots of audiences, although they seem to be a lot louder. But I want every one of us out there who to come out and speak for her, speak positive, speak life into her. I can go on and on. I'm being triggered right now. That's why I'm going on, and I apologize. You guys know what I'm touching at. And all of that, like everything that was said about this girl last year triggered me. I was so mad. I was so mad at how everything just turned out. And I understand some of the things with the whatever she had her interview with Breakfast Club, what happened on the award stage, wanted someone to carry the award and all. I understand all of that, and people can criticize. That means it is what it is today. It is, right? But questioning her blackness, questioning her music, questioning her dedication, and most of the vitriol that was coming her way, even wasn't her fault. Her winning the Grammy, she's not the owner. She has nothing to do with the Grammy. Saying she's a plant and coming from nowhere, questioning the talent. All of that is just ridiculous and just stupid. And people are just so stupid. And I'm like, how is it that we have more vitriol for Tyla than we have for the Grammys, who should have given that to Davido that year? How are we mad at Tyla? Like, people are just so dumb, so stupid. Live right in front of your face. We pick on our very own in support of a foreign award show that did not have black or even Africans in the whole discussion from the beginning. Like, it was never a thing for them to recognize. They were giving us awards at the back. If they thought our music was good enough, it whatever would be that way. If we had to fight for us to be recognized in front, I don't give a damn. I would always stand with African artists anytime, 1,000,000 times before I stand against them. I would always stand with them, for their prosperity, for them to thrive, for them to be recognized wherever they are in the world. You guys know how I am. Like, I don't care. I've been talking about this thing for a minute now. Where else are you hearing a conversation or and someone talk about the need to acknowledge African artists in European countries? Where have you heard anyone spoken about that? I've spoken about this several times. There is a need for us to recognize them and not just follow. So, I mean, nobody can come here and call me names, right? Because I've been standing on this 10 toes. for a minute now. So I hope she thrives. I hope she's thriving wherever she is right now. So still on new music, Fowls has a new single out, and see, there's something I've always believed, and it is that rap is always local. And I know some of you would say, well, they're American artists, global, and all of that. Well, you have to be local first, very, very local in that, like, to come out as one of the biggest artists in that market, right? And I've always believed that. And you will see that outside of America, very few artists are actually rappers and global. They're usually a niche. Like if you RD, for example, very popular in the UK, Skepta, and the likes, right? Very popular in the UK. And I think who was it that came to that came to the US and rapped his butt off at one of those freestyles, and people, there was no acknowledgement of his talent, right? So like they could treat someone that has a whole continent on a lockdown, they could treat him like that in another market, right? So with that thinking, I've always looked at it that rap, like rap in itself, very low. It is a very local, like as global as it is also very local, right? And that's, I've also spent time recognizing rappers in Nigeria and the great job that they're doing from MI. You guys know it's my favorite artist of all time. Not even rapper, it's my favorite artist ever. City Kai, the album with, oh my goodness, why do I forget the artist name right now? But you guys know how I feel about rappers and just generally like that. So Files has a new song out, and he's always been one of those artists that I think, like rappers, he's been here for a long time in the Nigerian music industry. I mean, he's been here maybe as long as he's been here, maybe 15 years at this point, right? Files has been here for a long time, and he hasn't been recognized among the very, very, very best. He's had hits upon hits because he's not really a pop artist. Like we see that happen all the time, but he's been definitely one of the most remarkable artists to come out of the Nigerian music industry in the last decade or so. He decided to go R&B one time. I don't know why that was the case, and I came out here like strongly saying, bro, that you are far away from where you excel. So, and then when he decided to kind of take a step back and come out with a song that is in a genre that he thrives, I was more kind of supportive of that. I'm trying to see here. Let me see if I can get that the album he released last. Oh, the one that was really, really bad was it was the 2022 album titled Bad, BAHD. Terrible job he did there. And he's had really great job. Like he's an actor, an artist as well, and is a lawyer by, what would I call it now? Is it by profession, like by going to school and all of that? But he has a new song out. I, for one, I'm a big fan of his. His style of rap is very, very unique. He adds a little bit of humor to his style of delivery as well, that I just honestly love. Nobody raps like he does. He's very, very special that way. Has a very unique way of telling stories. And he has spoken about virtually everything almost anything that can be spoken about when it comes to love, when it comes to heartbreak, cheating, and all of that. He's rapped about all of that, having a unique way to tell those stories over a decade, I think, at this point. So, I mean, yeah, more than a decade, because he had an album from 2015, and this wasn't even his first. This wasn't even his first album. So, shout out to Fouls. The song is titled Round of Applause. I hope he focuses on this rap thing and he's back there. Um, because I really clowned him for that project he released a few years ago that was nothing to write home about. I'm trying to see if I can find the name of that project. The last one he released that was really good. Huh. I can find it right now. The one that had the indie as part of it. Let me see. Oh yeah, I think it. Oh, Before the Fist. That's the EP. Yeah. Oh, that's the EP. The one that had the feature with Flavor and Odumodu Black. Really incredible. Hugo Pay. That was really great song as well. Popping Tonight with Fino and Shebo. Great as well. Like he knows how to put out really good, like really good songs and all this. And the thing is, in other markets, this, like, he will be spoken about a lot more than we do here, right? On this song alone, the Indicate, which is my favorite song from that EP, by the way, which he, as a Yoruba boy, he was rapping in Igbo as well to complement being to complement Favor, who is incredible high life musician, as well as Odumodu Black, a rapper as well. It was just really incredible single, 8 million streams. And I know these numbers sometimes really don't matter, but rightfully so for those who feel that way. But I'm kind of focusing on that. Like in another market, that would be really remarkable, like to see. So I really cannot wait for him to be back in his bag. And I think the EP was sort of like a transition, sort of like in the middle to kind of slowly fade from that terrible run of the bad album to something really better that is more consistent with what he has given us over the years. Like, he is no doubt one of the very best rappers or artists generally, or entertainers, because I mean he's been involved in acting, really successful actor in as well. So you can't take any of that from him. Cannot wait for his album to By the Way. Another artist, new music that caught my attention this week is this one by a guy that I don't know. Now, this artist, I don't know him per se now, but he features another artist on this song that caught my attention, that made me, took my spidey, kind of took my like my spidey senses up to be like, hey, wait, what is going on? To kind of make me pay attention to that. And I'm talking about, his name is Ayox, right? And he featured my girl, my one and only incredible artist of the moment right now. He featured King Madi on this song. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know a lot about Ayox. And this song without King Madi, if I'm going to be honest, this song without King Madi would have been a disaster. And this song tells me a lot more about King Madi than it actually tells me about Ayox, right? I listened to the song and he's given the same vibes that a lot of like street artists give, right? And the what he's singing about, the delivery sounded very like just mid, is for lack of a better word. Like it didn't sound the best. Let me just use that. It didn't sound the best. But I was so impressive at how King Madi kind of handled herself and delivered on this record. Now, he's coming with that street vibe on this song, although it's mid-tempo, giving you that Afro pop on the mid-tempo kind of vibe where she thrives. But his street energy and the street like the delivery from him could only, takes away from that mid-king and makes it sound more like a street record than a Afro pop mid-tempo song. And I was wondering that, wait, when the song started to play, I was wondering, wait, how is she gonna fit? She fit in incredibly well. Oh my goodness, I'm listening to it right now. I wish I could play for you guys, but this is incredible music. And another part, that the fact that she's able to write as well, I think she knew, she looked around and be like, okay, this is where I am. This is the environment. This is the vibe. Let me adjust with the songwriting and just the delivery that would match this. And she took the song to a whole new level. If I was listening to this song without King Madi, I wouldn't listen to a lot of it. This is me being honest. You guys, I don't know how to hide that. I don't know how to be anything but that, right? And King Madi just delivers. And this is what makes her special and kind of exposes other artists. So many artists would deliver really kind of good albums or singles. But can they elevate a song when they're being featured? Can they elevate the song? Can they even elevate, an album? Like, when you come into a feature, do you elevate the environment? Do you elevate the vibe? Not very few, but a lot of artists cannot do that today. A lot of artists that we look at and say, oh, this artist, they will give them names. This one don't blow. This one is the next thing. This one is not the like. There's so many names that they give to people, to so many artists today. So many tags they put on them about the future, about how they're this, they're that. But when where the rubber meets the road is when they're being featured with other people on a track. Can they deliver? A lot of them cannot. A lot of artists cannot deliver. This is what makes artists like King Madi so special. And I'm sorry that I'm talking about an artist song and I'm talking about the featured artist instead of the one who owns the song. But it is what it is. I just needed to point this out, that we need to pay attention to this. And you can see it from a million miles. Artists that cannot do that. I don't want to be mentioning names. Well, I'll mention one. By Boy Temps, for example, or Means. Like, these artists, I haven't heard any song that they're featured on that they elevated. Lona, I haven't seen any of that. He was featured on Friday's album. I felt like he should have collected his money. Friday should have collected his money back. It should have been a refund. And that was a lot of people hyping this guy. And I was like, wait, what are people hyping? He cannot elevate a song. Like, it is so evident to see that anyone who has been around this music a long time, who understands music, you can see that from a million miles away, that this artist doesn't have the legs to go 5 years in this industry. Okay, you put out an album that so many people, how are you able to put out another one? You're not. Is it not in this industry? This industry that is very cutthroat. So it's just amazing. I needed to shout out King Madi. You guys know I really came, strongly against her last album, because I think it was just, that album did her a big disservice. I don't know why that was the direction they went. Did her big disservice. But like, I mean, it is on this show. I can do that. Two things at once. You can recognize when someone is really good, and you can also recognize when the job is they're not close to doing a good job at all. So shout out to King Madi. Shout out to Ayox, by the way, for coming together with King Madi on this one. I think he has an album. The song is it from an album, or is it this? Oh yeah, it's actually an album. You know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll check out this album. We'll see. When did he release this? May 8th. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I will listen to that album, let you guys know what my thoughts were. And talking about artists that or singles that are not giving the best, Mr. Easy has a song out titled Love Me Now. And I don't really like talking about songs that I don't like that. I might not like a song, but I wouldn't talk about a song here per se that I hate or don't like. I might talk about projects that are not good enough and things like that. But if I don't like a single, I most likely wouldn't even talk about it on the show, right? But this Mr. Easy Zone kind of was very ridiculous to me. Sounded so ridiculous to me. And I know his style over the years is to come off a certain like lazy kind of way on a track. But this track was so bad to me. The song's titled Love Me Now. It sounded like he just woke up from sleep. There was no effort. Like, it literally, that the way people's voice sound on the phone when they just wake up from sleep? That was how this record sounded. And like, I know that people don't have to be great singers or whatever. I mean, that's the way they did it. To put out like pop songs and all of that, especially in Nigeria. I recognize that. But man, at least respect the audience and come up at least with your C game. I don't even give him an F here for like writing his name on the record. This was so bad. For me, this was so disrespectful. You guys need to go listen to this song. And I was so mad. It's just like, wait, why are you sounding like this on a record? I know you want to give that, there's a way you sing or deliver, but this was just so terrible. I just needed to point that out. And I'm not sure why he's still doing music now. He's more on the back end. I think he's head of a distribution company or record label or something close to that. I know he's involved on the management side of music now. I'm like, nobody needs to hear any of this. Please don't. Like, if you don't want to do music, just don't. If you want to put out something, it's fine that the song might not be good, but at least deliver like you really respect the audience that is going to listen to this. And I don't feel like that was there. The respect for the audience was evident in this record at all. I mean, it's just really bad. I just needed to point that out for people. Like, there are people who, it doesn't matter when I come here and say people out trash music, not trash music, like bad songs. It's not just from like new or unknown artists. Established artists as well can fall for that, who think of themselves on a certain pedestal that they are not. So it's not, I mean, at most it's coming off as a C-list artist. So I just don't know. And I know he's got a lot of respect on the management side. I'm not taking away from that. But as an artist, if you're going to come out, if you're still going to be putting out music, if you're retired, that's fine. But if you're still going to be putting out music, please respect the audience and at least give you a bare minimum C+ that we know you can. We know you can deliver. Now, this next single is not by a Nigerian artist, right? But the reason why I want to talk about her is when she released her album 2 years ago, thereabout. I think it was around the same time that Ira also released their album, and they featured maybe one or two artists similar on the project. And I talked about her project as a way to put like a mirror in front of Ira Starr's project, to show how terrible the project, Ira Starr's project was, and how mediocre that project was from last year. And they quickly moved away from it. Like, the way everyone was screaming about how good the project was, guess what? They've moved away from the project. People, see, we cannot just be believing a lot of people on this internet that have no, I don't know why I'm so triggered. This episode, but it's a lot of, I'm just so pissed, right? People, guys, if you really want to, and this is not just me promoting like this podcast I'm talking about and just blowing my own trumpet, but you guys have to see, right? Listening to me and how we evaluate music here and seeing what others do and seeing the results after, you guys have to see the difference. A lot of people were shouting about this Ira Starr album is the best thing since sliced bread. A lot of people were shouting about Thames' album. A lot of people were shouting about Fireboy. And what was the other brother's name now that released, and not Ruger. I can't remember the name of the artist, right? I don't know, it skipped my mind. But all these artists, they released and people were screaming, this is the best album. At the end of the year albums, they were talking about the best albums. These people who are pop stars, who are supposed to have all of the finances to push them, so like it's supposed to be hits. That's why they are there. I'm not talking about R&B or whatever. I'm talking about they're releasing pop artists, and they are nowhere at the top of pop conversations. They are moving on quickly from the album. Fireboy has moved quickly away from the album. Victoni has quickly moved away. We're not even hearing anything from that because they've come out and seen it by themselves, looking at it that all that was just internet banter. on the reality of things. Nobody's listening to this project. Ira as well, nobody's listening. She moved on. The new single with, I didn't even talk about that. Her new single with Wizkid, just as bad. Wizkid even impressed me a lot more on that. Like, don't you people have money to pay songwriters, people that can help you find stuff to sing about? My bad. This was supposed to be a talk about Shensea's new single out. I don't know how we went from this was supposed to be talking about Shenseea to another artist. But Shenseea has a new single out right now, featuring this guy NASR, titled I'll Be Fine. I just talk about Shenseea every time just to remind myself of what originality, consistency, brilliance, looks like. Like, you blow up on the international stage. This is not a time for you to try and mirror what the, what American music sounds like. This is a time to double down on your music, on your language, on your flair, on what makes you unique, what makes you you. But no, Iris Star wants to sound like every R&B artist out there. She doesn't have the diction, the delivery to even do all of that. And it's not even a negative thing towards her. It's not who you are. That's not how you got here. Like, you are not going to impress this audience with that, trying to be something else, where if they wanted that, they have other artists that can deliver that kind of music for them. The reason why they accepted you is because you're different. There's something about you that is unique. Stick to that. Shout out to Shenseea. I really love this track, titled I'll Be Fine, featuring Nasri. Oh my goodness, I actually put the name down wrong. Shenseea featuring Nasri on a song titled I'll Be Fine. If she's coming out with a new album soon, I really cannot wait for that. I love her music. She's a great performer as well. That's what I was about to say. Great performer as well. Before we round things off on the show, you guys know I always want to pick one thing. Let me see. How much time do we have? Oh, we're almost out of time already. But let me pick this that I've been wanting to talk about for a few weeks now. One of the predictions I made at the beginning of this year is that a lot of our artists are the big artists at the end of this decade are no longer going to be at the top, either at the top of your game or not going to be actively involved in music. And this Davido's last album got me thinking a lot. I didn't know it was going to be that soon, because the album just wasn't good enough. All the things that we know him to, that have kind of made him very unique, and the things that comes easy for him, like Davido would never release an album. He has never released an album where he personally doesn't have hits in the album, like singles. There have always been singles hits for every Davido album. He has this fifth album is the first time where the biggest song, or one of the best part of his projects, are the featured songs, are the songs that he actually featured other artists. And those other artists are the ones that actually make the song what it is. It is not Davido. And that has never, for me personally, from my observations, never really happened to him so many times, because he's such a dominant artist. We might talk about how, the album is not cohesive and all of that fun stuff, the criticism that he has received over the years. But you cannot say, oh, that is a hit. Like at the end, like maybe over time, we'd like, oh, there was several hits from this album, 2 hits from this album, this hit, and not just the songs that he featured people. He has solo hits every single time. In the past 4 albums, he has always had solo hits. This is the first time that he doesn't have that, right? And that got me thinking a lot. That let's say he doesn't follow the advice of working with, which was my advice for him moving forward, that if he wants to still stay relevant in the industry, he has to have, I strongly believe that Chris Brown has to musically, executively produce the next album if it's gonna sound anything that would get all of us really wowed or impressed. It has to be produced better. If he's going to produce himself, or do the same thing he's always done. This is such a big deal for me. I don't know why so many people haven't talked about it, but I think this drop is such a big deal, and this happens with every artist. It's like even athletes as well. Like you're scoring 20, you're able to score 20, 25 goals, 30 goals every season, and then you get to that one season where you go from 30 goals per season for the past 5 years to 15. That is telling us a lot, right? Right? That is telling us a lot. And instead of you being the one in front scoring goals, you're more looking for assists now because you're not able to run all the way. You're missing shots. And it makes me remember Wayne Rooney, for example, like brilliant. Went from being a striker to more of an attacking midfielder to more of a midfielder at some point because his legs could not just carry him for so long, right? So, I mean, for me, I'm looking at for me, I think the next move for Davido will be like what Messi did. I mean, you cannot perform at the top every week in La Liga. Move to a league that is not as fast. It's still quality, but not as fast, right? Like the American League, right? I think someone can actually help him as well, like having someone really, really good where, that would help on the music side, help him with the writing as well, to put out great music. I think that's the best move for him, right? But I bring up all of this to say we have to find a way to help our artists retire. Because I'm thinking that if Davido decides to, or even Wizkid or even Burna, any of these artists, because they will drop off. Like they're not going to sing forever. I know their fans feel like they will never get old and they will remain this age forever and they will always release good music. That's not going to always happen. If we're still, like I said in that prediction, we're still going to be relying on a 45-year-old Davido to still produce music. Like we're still waiting for him to give us the best music, pop music. Like I don't know. I don't even know how. I don't know what to say about that. If that's where the decision where we find ourselves later on, I don't know what my thought. Like that would just be crazy, right? So I'm thinking that there has to be a way. Our artists are going to be retiring. It has to be a time to celebrate them. This toxic standship needs to go in the trash. We need to recognize and celebrate these artists and not just even let them just retire and nobody knows. We need to create an environment where we recognize their true brilliance. Because I think some of these artists are also scared. I know maybe scared is not the word, but of what their fans or opposition fans are going to think of them. Because they're so involved in this social media thing as well. Like, what would it be? Would they be able to retire? And it would just be so sad if someone like Wizkid or Burna or any of these artists retire, and the loudest voices about is about how they've dropped, rather than such a great career they've had, how much they've done for the Nigerian music industry, how much they've done for getting music global and getting recognition just at the right time. Like, I'm hoping that when these artists decide to retire, that is the loudest voice that is out there. That is the loudest narrative. That is my hope. I fear that all of their career will be put on, just shutting down to this, to the loud voices of the toxic fans, of opposition fans, sort of out there. Right? I've always wanted to talk about that. And I'm just hoping that every one of you who are hearing the sound of my voice, are part of the voices on social media or among friends who are actually celebrating these artists and giving them an opportunity to bow out of the game. Right? I mean, Davido has been here for over 15 years. Like, these artists have been here a long time. Nobody goes on giving their A game forever. Everyone rests and retires at some point. And I don't think this will even be a conversation if these toxic fans were not, in conversation, or were not part of the conversation today. I think it would just be like, okay, this artist is no longer making music, even if they don't officially come out and say they're retiring, but it would just be like, yeah, let's celebrate this artist and the work they've done. Right? So I'm hoping that is the case. Right? And we don't just out of all this internet banter, shit on their incredible illustrious careers. If Davido doesn't release any album again today, he's solidified himself as one of not just the greatest Nigerian, the greatest African artist ever. Hmm. Well, we'll be keep talking about this. We'll still keep having these conversations. I know when the time comes for some of these artists to retire, there'll be conversations that would need to be had. That would need to be had at that point. So I hope you guys are part of the resistance to this, to the toxic stuff that is out there today. Okay. All right. I think that's all. That's all that I've got for you today. Any other thing, we'll talk about it next week. I want to focus on a particular tweet that I actually saw. We'll talk about that next week. I saw this tweet. What? Yeah, I think I saw the tweet and it just sparked several thoughts kind of like in my head. I'm like, this is something we really need to talk about. And it kind of connects with um songwriting in in Nigerian music industry and all of that. We'll talk about it, but yeah, I think that would need or have to happen next week. As always, please, I want to know what you think about any of the things to talk about on the show. If you disagree, if you agree, whatever it is, please let's have a conversation. Let's build a community here. My DMs are open. You can also send me an email if you want to do that. Is no standpod. That's no standpod at gmail.com. No standpod at gmail.com. On Twitter is at no standpod, or you can send a message to me personally on Twitter is at TA Sound, TIAE Sound on Twitter. Please follow on YouTube is the No Stand Zone podcast with TA on YouTube. Please like and subscribe as well. Please tell family and friends. Please let's know how we can get better on the show. I want to hear from every one of you. Thank you very much for your time. Well, until next week, please don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Well, stay blessed.